F tier Civ versus S tier Civ? One and all, it's happening again. House of Lancaster up against Ottomans, but it's not just anyone on the Ottomans. One of the best Otto players we have in Age of Empires 4. It's B. Okay, I'm excited for this. This man does not pick this Civ without a reason, a logic, a cause. And I'm curious to see what he's going to be cooking with. Enlightened Horizon is going to be the map, and it is the 2 Sacred Site spawn. What the hell? We just had the trade post bug spawn, and now we get a 2 Sacred Site spawn as well. I mean, luckily, that shouldn't matter too much. It's not a Delhi. It's not a House of Lancaster. Curious to see what Kilyadi is going to do. My feeling is this is going to be just a normie build into the Manas. I wonder if actually it would be better to play Abbey of Kings here. Matchup-wise, I think the Manas make a lot of sense. But from a map perspective, I quite like Abbey of Kings. Just because you can rush your opponent really quickly. The reason this is going to be pretty interesting as a matchup is, while Yeoman is all the talk of the town right now, Ottomans is like the epitome of perfect counter. Sipahi are phenomenal up against them. And if you ever miss position even slightly with Lancaster, obviously you just immediately activate the juice mode with the attack speed buff. And we do have military school beginning, so usually the reason B does this is not to harass your opponent. The problem is multitude of problems here, actually. Lancaster has short bows to defend against spears, and also the TC is too close. So this military school beginning is about the deer shell. He's going to want to get 2 to 3 spears and get all these resources home. Good news as well, actually, is down the line it doesn't hurt him, because down the line there's probably going to be a Demi-Lancer play from the mana spam. So then you have a few spears to hold that back. I swear, every time I see Lancaster being played on this map, they get 2 stones like this. How's the ban rate of Lancaster so far? Good question. The win rate actually is negative in tournament play from EGC. In this week, actually, maybe we should be going for... I say let's have a look at midweek muster 20. So we have a full picture of what happened last week. So, statistics-wise, House of Lancaster had 38 bans. H3 had 46. So H3 and then Lancaster was second most banned. They had a 60% win rate. But looking at the current, looking at 21, if I can actually find it. Currently, statistically, House of Lancaster's 66% win rate with 3 games played, 25 bans. H3 once again above them at 33. And then Roos is at 16 bans, Delhi 18. So yeah, they are still unequivocally banned by the majority of players in these tournaments. Understandably so. I think even if this wasn't too strong, I think this is not fun to play against. And I think, you know, as much as it's obviously about winning and tournaments, etc., being the best, blah, 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 there is also an element you got to enjoy what you're doing. And I think this current version of Lancaster doesn't lead to enjoyment. Why are we banning HRE? Bruh. Have you not seen Black Rider enough? I'm not even going to start. So, like, my big wake-up call I keep bringing back to people is if House of Lancaster Yeoman are OP because they move really fast, why is HRE Archers not OP? Because they move even faster. People are going to argue because of the tower range, but I'm like, well, yeah, but HRE Archers, you build more of them quicker, and they gap close quicker. So... Okay, so I thought it was going to be about the deer shove. I almost forgot. Yeah, we have the merchant camp. So he uses the spearman to capture both of these, both of them being worth a villager. It's not the same. It is. It really, like, in terms of what it does to the state of the game, it is the same. I'm sorry, I'm not, like, backing down this hill. Yeah, you can argue a yeoman in singular compared to an archer is better. But how the hell is House of Lancaster's economy at the beginning of the game comparable to HRE's? It's not. And the fact that HRE gets banned more than Lancaster still to this day proves that. HRE is literally a higher priority ban than Lancaster in all tournaments. And this is why I keep going. Like, you can argue Yeoman will feel overtuned, but the moment you nerf the mana economy, I don't think they're going to be the problem they currently are. Well, I'm so averse to nerfing Yeoman. I'm averse to completely killing the unit that like makes the Civ unique. I'd rather we deal with the totally unfun thing, which is manners, and then address the Yeoman afterwards. People like you who cry for everything to be nerfed at once are one of the biggest problems in like balance mining. If you shoot everything down that can make a Civ good, they become the worst Civ in the game, and they're redundant. And thankfully, like the devs understand this. There's a very good reason why the devs, for a very long time, let the Floating Gate Mounted Samurai build exist as it did. It's because they knew the moment they took it away, Japan had nothing. So you always have to think about this when you like rebalance. Because like technically you can overbuff a Civ and dial it back, but what you don't want to do is overnerf a Civ. If you overbuff a Civ, it gets picked too much, you fix it. If you overnerf a Civ, no one picks anyone. And also, here's the other thing. There are going to be some people that actually probably enjoyed the House of Lancaster experience. If you kill the Civ, you've now removed players from the game. Because less than 5%, I'm going to punt, less than 5% of the game's audience plays more than 2 Civs. Not everyone is a pro-level player. So, speaking of the Yeoman, they are coming, but the ultimate counter is there. Sipahi should be able to wipe these boys. And it's going to be stable production to get them out fast. We also have the wall up. Well timed as well by B. You just have to get this wall here, otherwise Yeoman will just keep wrapping around the back tree line. Does reveal him. Okay, so this is tricky with the ranged armor. Not something you really want to fight into. Melee armor is also pretty smart to switch to if it was just mass spears. So Spear Archer versus Archer Sipahi. And the thing to keep in mind is B got the Imam point. He's so good at this, man. I legit think someone like B or Louis at this rate is going to get this ban. Or rather rework. This detail is very powerful at high level play. Where every unit matters in the early game, this Imam play, while very hard to thread, if you execute it elegantly, it can be oppressive. It's an AoE heal, a targeted heal combined, and at the early point in the game, your opponent can't snipe. But it's ballsy what B has done here. He done this against Yeoman. Yeoman are a unit more capable than most of insta-sniping those Imams. So likely what we're going to see from B is he'll probably look to keep the Imams really far back and maybe bait Kilyadi into overextending. Meanwhile, on the land of Kilyadi, money! We've got level 1 mana tech coming in, so 3 more to be added soon. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, the problem is manas are too safe, they pay off too quickly. If you had to build them out on the map, B could have counteracted this and you wouldn't just have so many Yeoman already. Range down with 2. Yeah, Kilyadi, whoa! So much focused on mana timing, he forgot about his blacksmith. That's a big deal. B actually could take a really good fight here. Can march up. Spears in the formation is going to slow down the retreat for Kilyadi. Now he does have the escape route up top at that village. Kilyadi? Wait. Donation? What? Alright, villager out for a stroll is going to get punished. Remember, by the way, behind this, B does have Pro Scout, so he has safety in his base. Yeah. The other thing, right, so like the final nail in the coffin I'll say on the H3 Archer Yeoman argument, eco aside as well, is like also keep in mind these cost more than standard Archer. Like that, I don't know. Like, I think I've said, you want to retweak this, rebalance it? Fine. Bring them down to 5.5 tower range. Nerf the manas. I think you solve all the problems, actually. Sing Shot needs a rework so that it's more powerful the longer you cast it. Weaker if you just instant fire it. And you're good. But here's the funny thing for you guys. I think simultaneously, H3 archers should not move quicker than standard archers. Their movement, like I think HRE, only melee infantry should be faster. There you go. You keep the unique identity of marching drills. You don't have to turn it back to a blacksmith tech. And Civ not too oppressive. But yeah, the funny part is the person calling me out saying, I don't know why you're so like fixated on not nerfing Yeoman to the ground. At the same time, I'm starting to think if I check his profile, it'll be mainly HRE. Because also every time I bring up HRE, he skirts around. Is B just going to go next stage? Could you even, like, trebuchet here? Because it's a really short route to your opponent's base. No, I think he's going to keep leaning, because obviously you can start stacking up Vizier points. Gradually find your way towards Great Bombard. Would have said China? Oh, yeah, does he not? I think he chimes up when I talk about Imperial officials. Although Humoke is much worse at that. Like, I'm usually a bigger fan of buffs over nerfs. I say nerf where appropriate, and I've already highlighted like where appropriate nerfs are needed. Map name's not changed? Oh, thank you, Mahodo. Sorry, it's been a long day. We totally missed that. Mahodo's angling to be my cameraman. So what's Kiliadi's game plan here? He's clearly thinking about Castle Age. Sticking to Mass Yeoman, maybe? B's got like a scary combo with Sipahi, though. And if this trends Castle, Ottomans are very good at rushing into springs. Make it automatic? It's not possible. I have to manually select a map name and add it to like an overlay piece. It's Cal's new system. It needs a little bit of rework in some areas. It's cool, though. He basically rejigged it so it has like auto draft update. And yes, this map is meant to have 3 sacred sites. Apparently, we've just got multiple bug maps in one series. Did they choose a different... No, it's European Temperate. Okay, and King's College on the way. So, what's the play now for Kiliadi? Well, if he had good gold access, I'd say Hobbelars is like secretly quite good here. Or just go Knights. But he doesn't have good gold access. He has 1,000. This map is not protective against greedy defensive players, in my opinion. I actually think that's something really well designed about Enlightened Horizon. If they didn't introduce the 1600 gold vein, I think this map would be trash. But because they did, your core only has 3200 gold, and the second one's not in your base. It's actually really well thought out. It's definitely got some spawn issues that we've seen here, but like overall, I'm quite a big fan of Enlightened Horizon. The only issue is I might say just make it a 2 sacred site by default, because my instincts like Delhi will end up being too good on this map. And yeah, I've said I like the concept of Yeoman. Like I said, I can admit it needs some looks at, like in terms of tuning. But I want to keep the identity and the ability of the Civ alive, and the unit alive. Like I actually think from a, for example, synchronized shot perspective, more units should be added to the game with this type of ability. Or these like impactful abilities, should we say. And my defense on it, before anyone's like, I like my macro games and my Sim City and I don't want to lose an army straight away. That's fine. The people that sweatlord that out and do those things will move up the rankings. And you'll be with your fellow Sim City guy. He's getting down with the push though. Yeah, it does have the Demi Lancer timing. B's just trying to buy time for the veterancy. He does not want to fight before then. Kiliadi tech first, so he knows it's coming from fast. You have a Mango being prepped as well. How long? Quite some time. 1 minute 20. This could be a hard hold. B he considered the Janissary point. If he baits his opponent deep enough to wipe the Demi Lancer straight away, it could be worth. I just don't think you want to do it. Stop firing. Another point in. Okay, yeah, he's going to prep for scale, so more military schools to come behind this. Archer should be good for this fight, though. He's got the ranged armor, guys, which for some reason isn't glowing him. He has got Billman. It's only 10, though. I don't think this stops Sipahi. You can kind of see the hesitation in how Kilyadi's trying to approach this. Also, the fact it's a choke point between the trade posts, it makes it hard for the melee to dive in. Gonna bait him in range here. Demi-Lancers have to fully commit. Sync shot is on the way. This could be the money shot that Kilyadi needs. I don't know if it's gonna be quick enough, though. Lancers on top of him. Demi-Lancers are failing. And the Sipahi are through. If you thought a sync shot was good, wait until you meet Fortitude. Munching him down. Pushes him away. In a matter of seconds, the outcome could have changed in that choke point, but Kilyadi no longer has the mass to flex the synchronized shot. Are you kidding me? Synchronized shot only feels OP if you've got mass. An 18 Yeoman is exactly not that. The balls of steel on B. Because there's always a risk that tech is going to be coming in when you see that many Yeomen. To do so, to fight on the short route in a choke point like that. An absolute masterpiece by B. It's absolutely crazy by him. Also, with that many archers, there had to be a temptation to switch attack speed, but to stick to range, just to last longer, to break through with those Sipahi so elegantly. People molding over manners when military schools exist. Military schools take longer to pay off, and also they have a weakness. When your max pop, military schools are worthless. When your max popped, manners are still generating resources for the next wave. They are not the same. They are drastically different. Also, military schools have balancing based on age. You can't just build 15 of them. You have to age up. He didn't need to age up to mass manners, but he's going to need to square up real fast with his army. Sync shot coming in. Decent, but I don't think 10 is going to be enough. Bodies a few of the archers, but the Sipahi, the Lancers are in. Practically no spears left to defend with. And now a few knights are going to peel off to go hunting. Not just that, he actually bought the Ronin. They're coming in on the other side. Yeomen are going to dive out of the base for their own protection. But who protects the villagers? Oh my. Oh no, 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 no. Your blade is much tinier than his. Going to ring roses. Looks like B is going to back up a little bit. He's learning the hard way just how toxic these manners are. Yeah, reminder, if it wasn't for Lancaster Castle and all these arrow slits, like, this game would already be over. B would have lost maybe 10, 15 less units than he currently has. Don't tell me Lancaster Castle manners isn't the problem. Because Lancaster Castle and the manners, and then I see Yeoman, and then I see knights, and then I see hobilars. I've seen it all. And every time, at the heart of it, it only reaches that point because of the mana spam. But B shuts him down before it can truly become an oppressive factor.